Live from Nasdaq's MarketSite, I'm your host, Christina Ayanian. And joining me today is CEO of Apex Fintech Solutions, Bill Capuzzi. Bill, thank you so much for joining us. And welcome back to Nasdaq.
Yeah, awesome. It's good to see you.
Apex has had tremendous growth over the past several years, 10 years. Can you talk a little bit about the company and your B2B2C model?
Yeah, sure. So let's start with that, which is we are purely a B2B company. And what that means is effectively we're that sort of man or woman behind the curtain that supports, historically has been really the fintech community. And our job is to effectively take all the guts, the plumbing of our industry, right? So account opening and funding, all of the trading, right? Regardless of what the product set is, confirm statements, tax reporting, settling trades, all of the guts of our industry, and package that into this platform and focus sort of maniacally on making that as efficient, transparent as possible.
You're really the bridge through all of these different points. What inspired you to start the company with your co-founders?
Yeah, look, there's just a better way. So let's go back 10 years and we looked at sort of, as a young person looking at individually trying to invest. The barriers were high and the inefficiencies in our industry were significant, right? So you couldn't open an account without filling out some paperwork. You couldn't settle trades for 3 days. You couldn't move money in and out from your bank account. You had to write checks and then deposit a check. There's so much inefficiency, and all that inefficiency, what it did is just created these kind of walled gardens around this world of investing, right? It was for the rich, right? And so the focus for us from early days was how do you lower the barriers? How do you make it such that every person on the planet can invest in their future?
You took your problems, built a solution, and now are sharing that solution with your clients.
That's right. And sort of my DNA and the team's DNA is really around the plumbing, right? So think of sort of an inchworm, right? The industry, the front of the inchworm took this big leap forward, right? There's lots of really cool front office tools, really amazing experiences for the end consumer. But the back of our industry is sort of lagged behind. And so the focus for Apex has really been around how do we take that back end, all of the guts, the plumbing, and sort of thrust it forward so that, because a lot of what I just talked about, account opening, funding, trading, confirm statements, all that stuff begins and ends with the platform, right? Not necessarily the front office.
Absolutely. And through that, you're also opening doors and democratizing investing, democratizing the financial world to people who may not traditionally be investing. Can you talk a little bit about
Sure.
that? What is the next generation of investors demanding?
Yeah, so think about yourself, right? So you go on your phone, you need to buy something for your house, you can press a button, and that item can be at your house today. Right? It's amazing. Amazon's doing amazing things. Think about other aspects of your life, and then apply that to investing. We've made amazing strides, right? So zero commission. You can do fractional share trading. You can invest in fixed income and equities and options and futures, all in kind of one platform. But we still have a massive way to go, right? We still settle trades T+2. Think about that. You buy something today, it's 2 days later when that stock settles. Why? Why does it happen? And a lot of it has to do with the plumbing of our industry is old. It's COBOL code, it's IBM mainframe. And as a result, there's a big opportunity for us to keep focused on how do you create efficiency, lower all of the sort of opaqueness in the industry, kind of focus on transparency, and democratize, a overused word, but really focus on how do you allow somebody that has $100. So I think about my son or my daughter who are in college. How do they take $100 and invest it, right? 10 years ago, really limited for somebody that had $100 sitting in a dorm room to do that. The access wasn't there, so we've gotten better about that. But the costs were really too significant. And so today you can do that, which is amazing.
That's incredible. You're helping the next generation build wealth.
That's right, yeah. Now we got a long way to go, right? You think about let's just take the United States. Roughly 1 out of every 2 people. So if you walk down Times Square today, 1 out of every 2 people that you bounced into has ever invested in their life, right? So the good news is 50% has. The bad news is 1 out of every 2 people has not, right? And we think about longevity and lots of things that are happening in medicine that are going to allow people to live longer. people need to think about how they're going to fund the next 20, 30, 50 years of their lives, and tried and true ways to invest, right? And part of what we need to do is keep focusing on how to lower the barriers to entry.
Absolutely. And speaking more broadly, going off of that point, why is innovation in fintech so crucial with the ever-changing environment?
Yeah, I mean, look, so today the industry is sort of barbells. You have this bleeding edge fintech, and we talked about some of those firms like a Webull or SoFi or Stash, eToro of the world. And then you have sort of the incumbents, the traditional firms, right? So the Schwabs, the Fidelities of the world. And they're big ocean liners, those firms, right? And they move slowly, right? And the infrastructure that they're built on is decades old. And so, the cool part is that these fintechs are driving change, right? They're moving from left to right. And so what we'll see over the course of the next 10 years is that, the fintechs will continue to evolve, will continue to sort of drive innovation, and the incumbents will be sort of dragged to follow in suit, right? So you think about things like fractional shares. Mm-hmm. It started with Apex as one of the pioneers to allow that to happen. We obviously enabled all 250 clients that we support today. Now you have Schwab and the Fidelity 6-7 years after we came out with it offering that, which is great because they have to. But that trend is going to continue. Fintech will continue to drive the innovation, and what will end up happening is the incumbents will fall behind.
It's really cool because Apex is the one who pioneered that.
It is. Yeah. Now, again, part of the symbiotic relationship between us and our clients is we'll do all this stuff as sort of that man or woman behind the curtain. And our job is to make our clients look great. So let them take the victory lap. We'll do things like, we're looking at things like 24-hour trading. And allow our customers, right, the SoFis, the Stashes, the Webulls, the eToros, to take that new innovation and make it their own, right, and drive that into their customer base. And so the relationship between us and our customers is a pure partnership. It's symbiotic, where we're terrible, Apex, at end customer interactions. That's not what we're good at. What we're good at is plumbing. Our customers are great at, meaning the SoFis, the Stashes, they're great at that interaction with the end customer. And so that relationship works perfectly for Apex over the last 10 years.
Absolutely. You've really established yourself as that trusted partner. What are you looking forward to in 2024 and beyond?
Yeah, I think there's a boring answer to that, which is we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing, right? And what that means is we're going to keep innovating. We're going to keep focused on helping all of these fintech companies grow, and the new folks that come out that drive innovation. So part of it is we're going to keep doing what we've been doing. I think the newer parts of focus for Apex, I talk about those incumbents. There's a whole bunch of traditional advisory firms which are looking at what these fintech firms are doing and saying, well, how is that happening? How are these people able to do this? And the common denominator in all those conversations is Apex. And so now what's happening is we're taking sort of our show on the road and helping more traditional firms modernize, which is very cool, right? Sort of the traditional advisory world. So that's number one. Number two is this notion of embedded finance. And so think about all the Nasdaq companies, Nasdaq listed companies that provide an e-commerce solution to an end customer. The notion there is that we could allow for any of those companies to offer an investing solution very simply, right? Apex as the platform can allow that to happen. And then the last is the world is shrinking. So historically, we've been very focused on the US market. We're getting lots of interest, lots of folks coming to us from outside the US. We opened an office in Belfast. We're sort of expanding into Europe. And in September, we're going to be opening up in Philippines. So
that's incredible.
Global expansion is going to be on the horizon in 2024.
Congratulations on all of that. You're really building a new global ecosystem in that sense.
That's right. Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and we look forward to continue following.
Thanks so much
for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.